Glad to have you here today. My name is Bob Mitchell. I'm the account manager for the Southeastern United States. I've been with Purkeys about 5 years, and we have Jimmy Fielding, who's been at Purkeys a lot longer. I think he started at Purkeys when he was about 5 or 6 years old, sweeping the floors. But Jimmy's our sales application engineer, and we're excited to talk to you guys about this new product, Sentinel, that we'll be talking about today. So the reason we came up with this product, or the scope of what makes this product work, is that there are common battery-related issues with straight trucks for lift gates. And we're speaking of straight trucks that do not have the auxiliary liftgate box that are running off of the truck batteries. So obviously issues there, dead batteries when you're running your lift gates off of the starter batteries. So there's a lot of LVDs out there, and some of those work fine, but they aren't telling you the whole story. Some of the LVDs will just cut off and leave your driver wondering what's going on. Why is my liftgate working up and down? And that can be a little frustrating to drivers and confusing to them. So that's why we came up with the Sentinel product. Sentinel product is designed to let your drivers know the status of your batteries, to let them know when they need to start the truck, to explain to them, and not explain to them, but to notify them that their batteries are running low, they're getting closer to the low voltage disconnect, and they need to start the truck and get the batteries recharged up. So some of the features and benefits to that are, obviously your drivers are going to be a little bit more informed, and in our business, information is key, and being able to educate and inform is going to be great, especially when you're talking to drivers out making deliveries and keeping them from getting frustrated with that process. As I said, the Sentinel is designed for straight trucks with a liftgate. We don't have the standard auxiliary box. These are running off of your starter batteries. One of the things that Purkeys does that I like is we have a logic to all of our products. The idea being, we want to charge liftgate batteries, we want to charge trailer auxiliary systems, we want to charge different things, but we don't want to do it at the cost of the truck running or the truck starting. Having road calls is the thing that we are trying to eliminate. So all of our systems have a logic to them that will keep that truck starting and keep it from a dead battery. So we kind of have that in mind. The Sentinel product is no different. Idea being, we want that, the first part is we want that truck to start, then we'll deal with the lift gates, and the Sentinel product is going to let you know where your battery is at with all that.
Yeah, just about every product.
Is that an accurate description, Jimmy?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, about every product we do, we do have some simpler ones, but we never want to solve one problem and create another one. So we always do everything we can to keep a balanced system, and I think this does a great job of that.
Yes, sir. And, road calls, obviously a very big expense to your fleet. So this is going to be something to eliminate that. So why we built it, as I said before, this is more of an intuitive low voltage disconnect for straight trucks. The idea being, your driver has some time between stops. A regular low voltage disconnect is just going to cut the battery off, and the driver may not know what's going on. With this system, with the Sentinel system, what it's going to do is going to be a box, and Jimmy's going to share a little bit about that. We're going to show you that. But the box is going to tell the driver, hey, your batteries are at 12.2, or your batteries are at 12.0. You need to start your truck, and we'll discuss more of that. But the idea being that it's intuitive for your driver, gives him more information, makes him a little bit more confident in what he's doing out on the road with his truck.
Yeah, LVDs are not a new thing out there. I'm sure everyone on this webinar and has experienced LVDs, low voltage disconnects. And we even have one currently, a very simple one for, lift gates or straight trucks with lift gates, but no auxiliary batteries. But it really, with our experience, when it does disable that gate, they don't know what to do at that point. I mean, the logical thing would be to start the truck, but when you're out there, you're running that gate up and down and it just quits working. With our experience, the first thing they're going to do is, they're going to go look at the pump motors and find that device that's causing that gate to be disabled, and and wire around it. So this product, we kind of did some VOC with customers and just kind of try to take it to the next level and make it a little bit more intuitive.
Yeah, and sometimes drivers, believe it or not, some drivers may not do the right thing, and may not just leave it as is. They might fuss around and cause a little bit more damage than they should. This product's going to tell them exactly what's going on. So some common issues, low liftgate battery state of charge. Obviously, we're running down batteries. The more you run down a battery, you're going to decrease your battery life. You're going to get sulfation. You're going to get a deeper discharge. So that's no good for your batteries to be running them down and not recharging them. Decreased life of the liftgate's electrical components, the solenoids, the different things that are part of that liftgate. If they're not getting a full jolt, that's going to be bad for the solenoid. If it's not getting the full amount of voltage to it. And as we talked about before, this is going to cause road calls. You're going to have someone in the shop to go out to jump start them or to find out what's going on. So these are common issues that we have found with box trucks, and this is why this product is an effective tool to eliminate that.
Yeah, all these things add up to dollars. Road calls are not cheap. We've kind of calculated and talked to a lot of fleets, a lot of customers. Typical road call is about $1,000. Not to mention not being able to deliver that product to the customer. So it all adds up to dollars.
Yeah, you have 5 stops to do. You get stop 1, stop 3, and stop 4 and 5 aren't happy. You're getting a mad customer. Your drivers aren't happy. The guy having to go out and jump them isn't happy. So all the way around, no good. But that does bring us to our next poll question. This is where we ask you guys on the webinar to kind of give your input here. So in a straight truck with liftgate and no auxiliary liftgate batteries, approximately what percentage of road calls are related to truck no starts or the liftgate will not operate? So in your experience, what would you think is the percentage for road calls that are related to truck no starts or liftgate will not operate? 10%, 20%, 50%, or 75%? We're going to give you guys a minute or two to answer this question. So go ahead and take that time to do that, please.
Probably a little less than a minute.
Yeah, maybe so. We won't kick you off the webinar if you don't answer, or if you answer wrong.
Looks like there's...
Yep, got a few guys jumping in here. Let's take a look at the results. All right, looks like 50% is the prevailing answer here. 75% is a little much. Other things go wrong, but 50%, 28% is the next in line. That's a good percentage of your road calls that are caused by liftgate not operating. So this is why we came up with this product, and this is why this is something that could help your fleet.
Cool. Well, thank you, Bob, for that intro. Very good. So I'm going to kind of go into more of the details, a little bit of the technical stuff on the Sentinel, and kind of show everyone the screen, what it displays, and just kind of all aspects of this product. So yeah, the Purkeys Sentinel provides a digital text display. So that's one of the biggest things we've added to this product. It will automatically, an LVD, it's going to automatically disable that gate when those truck batteries drop to a dangerous level. So really nothing that the driver has to do. It's going to automatically disable that liftgate, so you no longer be able to use it when that voltage drops too low. When that voltage is high, above the 13.2 mark, when it's seeing that the truck is running, you can see that picture on the left there. Battery's good, gates in operation, all is working as it should. The picture on the right there, and you can't really, it's a scrolling screen, so it's really hard to capture everything it says, but it says battery disconnected, start the truck. So, you know, it may be something the driver should know, but if something happens, that gate's disabled, they're more than likely going to go to that pump motor and see what's really going on, or the batteries. And this will be mounted right there, right in front of them, showing them exactly what to do. It'll show them the battery state of charge, a voltage readout, and an action item. So now I'm going to kind of go over all the call outs of the product. And you can see here, this is the product with the brackets and everything, the harnessing and everything. So the first thing, it's the IP67 rated enclosure. So it's going to hold up to the elements. Dust, temporary submerged in water. But the biggest thing that we experienced, this is going to be mounted underneath the truck near the pump motors. So you're going to get a lot of road spray. So it's going to hold up to those elements. Universal mounting bracket. So typically it's going to, right there by the pump motors, it's going to span across the cross members. So we give you really a lot of flexibility on mounting. LCD display, so it's going to give you that digital readout. And then we added some actions, some buttons in here that gives the driver or anyone working on this device some options to pick from. And I'll go into a little bit more on the action buttons later on in the webinar. So action button number 1, action button number 2. Battery state of charge indicator. So not only will we give you a voltage readout, we're going to give you an LED. Kind of like we do on all of our liftgate charging systems. Green for good, red for too low voltage. So we're going to give you that battery state of charge indicator, and I'll kind of go over that here shortly.
But as well as that battery state of charge indicator, you have the LCD display that says basically exactly what you need to do.
Exactly.
So with our other stuff, you kind of go, well, it's green, it's orange, whatever. I need to figure out what, maybe the driver can't figure that out. But the LCD says, hey, go start the truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then all the wiring harnesses are included. This one shows the harness that'll tie into the electrical circuit of the liftgate itself, the pump motors. We tie into the solenoids, and we control when they disable and re-engage. Then we have what's called the override button. So if the driver doesn't see that he's got to start the truck, and the batteries or the liftgate has been disabled, we do give them the option to override. But we only give them that option one time. We give them 60 seconds to push that button and allow them to stow that gate. Get the gate off the ground in a stowed position. And then we also include the harnessing for that as well, which typically this override button and bracket are going to be mounted on the inside, so that driver can bring that gate up to a stowed position. So features and benefits, there's 4 modes. We have status display mode, which was that LED indicator. We have active mode, so when we're running the gate up, running the gate down, we're going to display that. The whole point of the product is to disable the safe battery voltage, so we have that disconnect mode where we give the driver clear instructions on what to do in that mode, and then a menu mode, which will go into the action buttons that we just previously talked about and what those buttons do. So status display mode, we also include a decal on the side of this product that shows what each LED light means. So low charge is red. That means it's below the 12.29 volts. If it's between 12.3 and 12.9, so it's kind of in between, we don't want to say it's good yet, but we flash a yellow LED or an amber. Then if everything's great, good battery voltage, batteries at a good state of charge, 12.5 volts to 15.99. we don't want to see that 15.99, but that's kind of the range. That's going to indicate a green LED. And then for the over voltage, it's going to flash red, saying, you know, the voltage is too high, could be damaging batteries at that point. Then you'd have to look at the, you know, what kind of charging system you have on that truck. So active mode, you know, when the liftgate controls are used, the liftgate will be allowed to operate continuously, and that display is going to tell you exactly what's going on. So when the liftgate switch is pressed and you're running that gate up, it's actually going to say liftgate moving up, and it's going to display, you know, the status indicator and the voltage readout. When the liftgate's moving down, it's going to do the same. Then once that button is released, it's going to go into a monitoring state. So we want to see that bounce back. We don't want to just immediately disable the gate because obviously that voltage is going to be low because you just ran the gate. So we give it some time to recover and bounce back, and then we take a snapshot of that battery voltage and then make a determination. Do we stay in the running state or the active mode, or do we go into the disconnect mode? So that monitoring the battery voltage, we do that for 1 minute after the liftgate switch is released. If the voltage remains below that set point for 30 seconds, the liftgate will be disabled and display, you know, will read battery disconnected. And then it'll tell the operator to start the truck, or start the truck to charge, or hold button 1 to override. So there's actually an override button on the device here, which is button 1. And it clearly says that on the screen. Or if that driver's inside the box, we have that remote override button as well. All right, so we're going to go into another poll question. Love the poll questions. So if your liftgate was automatically disabled to ensure plenty of power for the truck to start, would that be a benefit or more of a nuisance? So I kind of want to get a feel from the audience, you know, because it could kind of go both ways. So just kind of want to get a feel from you guys, and we'll review the results here shortly.
Put yourself in the driver's shoes.
Exactly.
But we would like you guys to answer the question.
Yeah, it looks like quite a few of them are answering.
Okay.
So we'll give it a few more seconds. I'm seeing that number go up. So.
Oh, I didn't see the number. There it is.
All right, it's kind of slowed down, so we'll review the results here. Good. That's good to hear. 83.3% say it's a benefit. So, and that's kind of biggest, you know, why we built this product is we've seen a lot of people disable the one we currently make, which is a very simple version, but really telling that driver exactly what to do. Or if it did result in a road call, you know, that technician really has to go to that pump motor to see what's going on, and that's going to be right there in front of them. So, and it's going to show exactly, you know, what that person needs to do. So yeah, that's good to hear. So yeah, I'm going to turn it over to Bob. He's going to go into more of the those action buttons that we talked about earlier, which takes you into a menu mode, and kind of walk through those.
Thank you, Jimmy. So as Jimmy talked about before, we do have a menu mode on there, which allows the shop or whomever is looking at it to see what kind of LVD event counters there were. We want to know, the reason that's important is because if there has been a couple of LVD events in the course of the day, then there may be more of a problem than just what's going on with the liftgate, or I've talked about some battery issues. So in the menu mode, you have a button 2 on there. that will enter the menu mode and provide the user with instructions on how to view the LVD event counter, like I just mentioned. And you can kind of reprogram and reset it as needs be. The LVD event counter, as I just mentioned, again, it allows the shop, when you get back to the shop, to go in and go, okay, this, as you see from the display there, we had 5 LVD events. We got some bigger problems here going on. We may need to investigate this a little bit further. And again, more information, better for everybody, better for your drivers, better for your shop.
We really kind of geared that towards the, like you said, Bob, when it's back at the shop, the service manager, because he's going to know, if that truck is a problem child, and just kind of neat to go in there and see this truck's had, 5 LVD events or 20 LVD events. We probably should do something with it.
Yeah, certainly. And we can configure the LVD settings to whatever you want to have, whether it be 12.0 or 12.2, 12.4, whatever it may be. We can always set that to where you think it's comfortable that again, it would depend on the load that you have on your truck and depend on the route that you're running and a lot of different variables there. But, that can be set to whatever your fleet is comfortable with. But we can build those in, and we can alter those and customize those as well. Is that right, Jimmy?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every fleet is different how they operate. We just don't want this product to ever turn into a nuisance. So these set points, these are the ones currently built in, but certainly can explore if these 3 do not work. We certainly can explore, other options, but typically 12.4 is kind of that danger level. You don't really want to drop below that, but maybe you have something on there that'll auto start or something, to charge those batteries. You don't want this shutting off shutting or disabling the gate before that. So again, we don't want it to be a nuisance, but we do give flexibility to change set points.
Yeah. Well, we did see 11% said that it could be a nuisance. So I'm not exactly sure why that is, because it seems like this is something to be intuitive for drivers to get, so they don't get into a situation where they've got a bigger nuisance of their lift gate down and not being able to get it back up. But that's just my opinion. But Jimmy also mentioned the override feature that we have here, and this is a remote that is in the box with the driver. It's a in the event the lift gate's in the down position and the driver can't get it up, and whatever it may be, he has this override feature that he can, within 60 seconds, that he can press the override button for 5 seconds and allows the gate to run and get back up and stow the gate so that he can get back on the road, and it won't. You get the kind of one-time emergency. Hey, we're in a bad way. This is the bailout for us.
Yeah, and we don't want to really. The one time is all you get. If we allow them multiple times, then we're back to square one with dead batteries. So
yeah, he'll be sitting in there just hitting the remote every time. So just a nice parachute for when you do have a problem.
And we designed that bracket too because it's going to be mounted inside the box. So we put the beveled edges on it. If something were to hit it, it would tend to slide off of it. So it's stainless steel. All of our brackets are all stainless steel. So they're going to hold up to all the elements and abuse.
One thing we didn't mention about the Sentinel, it's a sleek looking product. I mean, it looks good. The display looks good. Even this, the override feature, it's a good looking product. Meets the eye test. So Jimmy, you're going to tell us about connections.
Yeah. So there's multiple, liftgate manufacturers out there. So they're all going to be a little bit different, but it's a real simple harness. 5 wires. We tie into the, we pick up a signal from the liftgate input down, so we can display that on the screen that liftgate's actually going down. Same thing on the up. We have a wire that ties into that circuit. Liftgate output to the motor solenoids. So we're playing the middleman there. When we see the voltages high or low, especially when they dip low, we're going to disconnect. So we got to put ourselves in line with that circuit, and that's what that wire is going to do. And then a simple constant power wire and a ground. So very simple connections. They're all done right there at the pump motors. But again, every liftgate's different. So it's, as far as, we'll have wire diagrams for all of them, but they're all going to be just a little bit different.
And we're always able to help out. We have a wonderful warranty department, and Jimmy and some other guys are available to be there if you decide you want to go with this product and help you wire up the first couple, make it an easy process. But we try to make it as simple as possible, if I can say that.
Absolutely. So yeah, really kind of short and sweet. Please send us feedback. If there's something on this product that doesn't quite fit the bill, we would like to know that. We think we captured everything, but maybe there's something we missed. So yeah, send in questions, feedback. We always love hearing that. Just want to thank everybody for joining this webinar today, taking time out of your day to listen to Bob and I.
Thank you.
Pretty excited about this new product. This is our newest product right now. So stick around too for a brief survey at the end of this webinar. And again, if you have any ideas on other webinars you'd like to hear from us on, we always take those. So unless you have anything else to add, Bob. But
I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you very much. And let us know what we can do to help to be a service to you.
Thank you. Actually, almost forgot something here.
Got some survey questions?
This is going to get. Did actually have a question popped up late.
What's popped up late? I just looked. I didn't see it.
Yeah. So, if this is going to get a signal from up and down function, can it be a cycle counter as well? Great question. That's some really good feedback. And I'll get back to, I'll take that to the engineering team and see if that's something we can do. But it's a good point. Can it be a cycle counter? I know a lot of liftgates have that already, but I think it's an option to add on. But if this is already there, that's valuable information. So we'll look into that.
Yeah, thank you.
So no more questions. Thanks again. Again, please fill out the survey and join us on the next webinar.